The political organization No Labels is qualified to appear on the ballot in Maine for this year's presidential election. It's the 13th state to allow the group onto its ballot. According to the press release, No Labels is pushing to gain access in 14 other states. Our next guests co-wrote an op-ed in Newsweek about the threat to the Biden campaign this third-party bid poses. Newsweek editor-at-large Tom Rogers and MSNBC political analyst Susan Del Percio are with us now. Tom, what's the danger?
Well, the danger is one the White House is very concerned about, not only No Labels, but other third-party candidates and the drain to Biden vote in 2024 that they present. What Susan and I looked at is weighing that variable against the variable the White House has a lot of confidence in, which is the passion of voters relative to the pro-choice abortion issue and how the two weigh against each other in terms of how Biden prospects look for 2024. The third-party candidacy issue is really real. Wall Street Journal recently polled on that, and when the spectrum of third-party candidates that have some real likelihood of appearing on the ballot were put out there, 17% of voters indicated that they would vote for a third-party candidate, and Biden lost to Trump by 6%. Polls out there show that the youth vote, which is particularly attracted to third parties, when presented, Trump wins the youth vote, believe it or not, by 13%. So a real issue.
Yeah, certainly some of that polling seems a little suspect, Susan, but there is real danger here from a third party. So you talk about in the piece offsetting that idea of the abortion issue. How does that happen?
Well, first, especially No Labels needs to stop their campaign. That's probably the biggest danger. But the issue of abortion being on the ballot, especially in a state like Florida, could really change turnout for Joe Biden, especially when you look at what happened in 2022 versus 2018. The difference in turnout was over 10 points. And when it was in 2018, 62%, Ron DeSantis won by less than 1%. When it was in the 50s, he won by 19%. But it's not strong. And more importantly, Ron DeSantis passed that 6-week abortion ban, which independent women are furious about. So with that on the ballot, they have the signatures. There'll be definitely a court case over it. But if they could get that on the ballot, I really believe Florida could be in play, which could certainly help the Biden campaign, given some of the problems in other states, especially with third-party candidates.
Tom, isn't it a fact that if they can get this on the ballot in Florida and then they do what is necessary to deal with getting out their base vote in the black community with DeSantis banning black history books and other things and student debt loans that people don't talk about, Biden got through and Trump's Supreme Court got finished, which could stem a lot of student votes out. Isn't that key for Florida and other states dealing with getting abortion and dealing with these other issues that go to turnout for their base?
Absolutely. And abortion has proven to be a big turnout issue, even in red states, as we've seen in Kansas, as we've seen in Ohio. Red states, people come out on this issue who support the pro-choice side. The variable here is this. It seems to matter most when there is something on the ballot that really puts this at stake in a state, meaning a constitutional amendment of some kind where this is really put to the people. How is your state going to handle abortion going forward? Now, it's not going to be on the ballot in Georgia, in Wisconsin, in Michigan, in Pennsylvania. The only two swing states it will be on the ballot on is Nevada and Arizona. So if you look at Arizona and Nevada having that on the ballot and hopefully putting Biden over the line there, even if he loses those other swing states, the reason Susan and I are so focused on Florida is that the abortion issue can pull it out for Biden in Florida. He can win still with 273 electoral votes, and that would do it. So Florida becomes critical that this issue be on the ballot.
All right, the new piece for Newsweek is online now. Tom Rogers and Susan Del Percio, thank you all so much for joining us. And up